Hey, this is the man from Brooklyn, and I'm back with my second message. Let's recap on Chicago shootings. On the 13th, you guys have some more people lost their life in the state of Chicago. I emphasize again, they need to bring in probably the National Guard or the Armed Reserve and put them on the ground and get control of that city. They got some federal troops in there, but it's not enough. This thing gonna keep going on and on and on. I feel, from what I see, that the local politicians over there in that state just pacifying the situation and won't fix the situation because when you bring in federal troops, they might not get elected. Re-elected is just all about politics. The probability that happened, 50-50. Depends on how the federal troops handle the situation when they get in there. I feel they're not using the National Guard to the full extent, or on reserve, and I'm retired from that group. I know what they can do and what they can't do. I just encourage them to bring an active army because the active army will cause a lot of damage because they don't really train for this kind of, they do and they don't, this kind of action. But the vandalism can't be tolerated. They still over there rioting, somewhat destroying people's property in their stores. Um, that can't, you have the right to express your opinion, march and stuff, but the vandalism shouldn't be tolerated. You're destroying your own neighborhood for one, and I emphasize this again. And you got to live in this neighborhood and go back to this neighborhood. Chicago is just, to me, is still off the chain. Up in Indiana, it's 50-50. Long and nothing don't happen, but if something happen up a rise, they're probably gonna march again. At the same thing until they go down and shut that city down in Chicago. It's gonna keep repeating itself. People can sit here and talk and scream all they want, and what it is what it is. And here we go. That caused hardship on them too. Put stress on the community that they don't need, and so on. You got to take control of the streets. Remember always, communication is the number one best key for any firefighter, law enforcement, or military. 90% of the time, or sometimes 98% of the time, you can talk the situation down and don't have to go into that mode where you have to put people in jail. There's no policy putting people in jail. Here's another example. Came up in our courtroom, something was towed, and they asked why the vehicle was towed. Person got pulled over, and he was under the influence of alcohol, and I believe some drug paraphernalia. Policy in the academy, we told the vehicle. That's the way it goes. We had some disputes over that in the court system. Vehicle still got towed. That was the outcome. You officers, if you get somebody in a situation with a DUI or even have suspicion they was drinking and they didn't tell you they was on medication, and then you find them very penal, you know what to do. You have a choice. Use common sense to make a decision. Either incarcerate them, depends on what your policy state, or if your policy lets you make that individual choice, you can detain them, call a loved one up like we always do, pick up the car, write up citations, have it appear in court. As long as they don't have no warrants or nothing, that'll work out fine. That's what we do. Each state do different. Some states got a stronger policy where they won't let them do that. They just gotta lock them up. But due to the fact we got all this corona running around here, the jail's overfull already. You got to use more common sense and to know not to just writing up folks and putting them in jail, because then you're putting stress and anxiety issues can start going on with the correction officers. Sometimes you can perpetuate the situation too. But if you think about when EMTs go on calls or firefighters get a call and they have to stage, staging for you don't know what staging is, stand by until the officer arrive on the scene, and then we can handle that. But they on a duress. Sometimes they go on the scene, there's no officer there, and you got people out there fighting. They suffer from the same thing and have stress issues and anxiety issues, and then they try to secure themselves during the riot. And in the alley, you saw that. Getting in the car, trying to get away from the scene. Mops is attacking them just like, any other group. They have families too. But that's what I'm going to bring to you. that think before you act. If you don't know, ask somebody, another fellow officer, and preferable the supervisor. The supervisor don't know, go up the chain or go on this wonderful internet we got. Most of the time you could Google search and get your answer, and then you go from there. And if you really don't know, you stand down and call a supervisor, and that's what he get paid for. Make him make that decision. This way you get the monkey off your back. And sometimes, remember I told you before, the best way to get anybody is with the pen. Write them up. Do what you got to do. Write them tickets up. And then that's how you get them. Hurt the man where they pocket at, and you have less problems. But back to recap again, Chicago, they need to shut it down. This thing gonna go on and on and on, and people still dying over there, and they're shooting over there like crazy. And it makes no sense just to go on. This is the man from Brooklyn. Please don't forget to subscribe on the right-hand side. And y'all have a blessed day. Be talking to you soon.